Today we are going to read a news article who is taken by Dar News to improve your English language skills. So welcome back to Smile English Lord, and of course I'm Zeeshan. So get let's started. That new article done editorial is that online operations. Operations is that the act of treating someone unfairly to cruelly, often by exercising power or authority over them. Important synonym is that persecutions, tyranny, dominations, exploitation, subjugations. Oppression can only a sense of cruelty, injustice, and power imbalance. It can also suggest a sense of hopelessness, despair, and resistance. Resistance. The government appears to be on some sort of omissions to create regulatory bodies and introduce amendments to law. Appears to be. Appears to be is a phrase that suggests some things seems to be the case, but it is not necessarily or definitive or absolute conclusions. Important synonym is that seems to be, looks like, apparently, it seems that apparently. Its recent plan to bring a change to PICA 2016, including the establishment of a new digital rights protection authority, shows how the state continues to prioritize control over real cybersecurity concern. There is no mistaking it. It is simply another attempt to suffocate dissent. This is not the first time PICA has been weaponized against free speech since its inspections in 2016. The law has faced persistent criticism from journalists, CSOs, and digital rights advocates for its vague provisions that enable state overreach. The 2022 PICA ordinance, later struck down by the Islamabad High Court, had similarly attempted to criminalize criticism of public officials. Now we see history repeating itself with even more draco- draconian measures. That that PICA 2016 is continues to prioritize. The PICA refer to an amendment to the Prevention of Electronic Crimes Act 2016. In Pakistan, this amendment was passed in February 2022 and made significant change to the existing law. To prioritize something means to give it some more importance or attention than other things. It involves making a decision about what is most important or urgent, allocating resources accordingly. Attempt to suffocate dissent. This is not has been weaponized since its inventions, has faced persistent rights advocates for its vague provisions that state overreach, later struck down by the attempt to criminalize draconian. That important meanings very important that the suffocate, to feel or cause someone to feel as they are being deprived of air or unable to breathe. Important synonym is that choke, smother, stifle, press, dissent. Dissent is strong disagreement or opposition to a particular idea, policy, or decision. Important synonym is that disagreement, opposition, protest, objection, rebellions. Has weaponized to use something, especially technology, information as a weapon or tool to harm, manipulate, or exploit others. Important synonym is that exploit, manipulated, utilized, deployed, hijacked. Inspections. Inspections, the act of starting, initiating something specially or complex or creative process. Initiations, beginning, start, genius, and planting. That important synonym. Persistent. Persistent, continuing to exist or occur over a long period of time despite difficulties or challenges. That important synonym is that tenacious, determined, resolute, unyielding, relentless. Advocate for, to publicly support or recommend a particular cause or policy or idea. That important synonym is that supports, champions, promotes, defends, speak out. Vague means not clearly or precisely defined or expressed. Important synonym is that ambiguous, unclear, indistinct, obscure, fuzzy. Provision is that supplies a resource, provide, arrange for a particular purpose or situations. Important synonym is that supplies, resources, arrangement, preparations, and measures. Overreach is important to extend or exceed some authority, power, or resources. Important synonym is that exceed, transcend, surpass, overstep, overextend. Struck down by means to be suddenly or severely affected or defeated by something such as illness, a disaster, or a powerful opponent. To be knocked down or incapacitated by a physical or emotions. Important synonym is that struck down by, failed, knocked down, incapacitated. Criminalize means to make something illegal or punishable by law, to declare or treat something as a often with the intention of discouraging or preventing. Important synonym is that prohibit, ban, outlaw, forbid, penalize. Draconian refer to important meaning is that draconian. Extremely harsh or severe laws, rules, and punishment. Unjustly, excessively strict, or cruel. Important synonym is that harsh, severe, strict, cruel, and oppressive. The proposed amendment are particularly troubling in their expansive definition of social media platforms to include tools used to access platform with the government without a legal cover to block VPN. It is a not too thinly veiled attempt to regulate them. And while information is a real issue, its vague definitions under the proposed laws raises critical concern. What qualifies as fake or false information? Who decide its authenticity? That important is that proposed amendment expansive definition of social media platform is it is not so thinly veiled. Vague definitions under propose that who decides authenticity. Proposed amendments through the United States constitutions are crucial parts of the country legislative processes since 10789 approximately 1100 170 measures has been proposed to amend constitutions with only 27 being ratified. These proposed amendments highlight ongoing debate and discussion about constitutions and its role and shaping. Expansive. Expansive is meaning extending or spreading out over a wide area or scope. Important synonym is that extensive, wide-ranging, comprehensive, broad, and vast. Not so thinly is idiomatic expressions in a way that is not subtle or disguised. Important synonym is that fairly obviously, rather clearly, not very subtly, quite transparently, pretty clearly. Veiled important means is that partially or completely covered or obscured, often in a way that is subtle or indirect. Important synonym is that shrouded, concealed, disguised, masked, implicit. Vague means is that lacking clearness or distinctness or thought expressions or understanding. Important synonym ambiguous, unclear, indistinct, obscure, fuzzy. Authenticity is that the quality of being genius, real or true one's nature, intentions or feeling. The state of being authentic, sincere, honest in one word's action or expressions. Important synonym is that genuineness, sincerity, honesty, truthfulness, realness too. This coupled with fake news carrying 5-year imprisonment terms create an environment of fear and self-censorship. The irony should not be lost on anyone as traditional media faces increasing costs and economic pressures. Citizens naturally turn to social media for information and expression. Instead of addressing the root cause of misinformation by fostering media literacy and protecting press freedom, the state response is to create yet another regulatory body with sweeping power to block content and prosecute citizens. The creation of DRPA following the uncertain fate of the recently established National Cybercrime Investigation Authority reflects a bureaucratic tendency to multiply institutions rather than strengthen existing one. The NCCIA formed just months ago to replace the FIA cybercrime wing already appears to be in limbo with its governance rules repealed. This pattern of creating overlapping bodies while failing to address fundamental issues of digital rights and cybersecurity does not inspire confidence. The important meaning is that, coupled with fake self censorship, the irony curbs turn to body with sweeping prosecute bureaucratic tendency to multiply, limbo with repealed overlapping. That coupled with, paired or combined with something else, often to create a new enhanced effect. Associated or linked with something else, often provide additional information or context. Important synonym paired with, combined with, associated with, linked with, accompanied by. Self censorship. The act of voluntarily restraining or limiting one's own thoughts, words, or action, often due to fear of criticism, rejection, persecutions, the practice of monitoring and controlling one on expression, often to avoid offending or hurting others. Important synonym is that self restraint, self control, voluntarily restrain, personal censorship, internalized censorships. Irony refers to a contrast or incongruity between what is accepted that what actually happened. A discrepancy to contradictions between what is said, what is meant. A situation or event that is the opposite of what is accepted or attended. Important synonym is that sacticism, stire, paradox, contrast, incongruity. Cobs is that physical barriers to boundaries such as curbstones or sidewalks that separate or define areas or space. Restrictions or limitations on behavior, activity, freedom, such as curfews to on law that regulate or control individual or collective actions. Important synonym is that boundaries, barriers, restrictions, and limitation, constraint, constraint. Turn to turn to seek help, advice, or guidance from some or some things. Important synonym is that seek out, look to, appeal to, consult, refer to. Sweeping is that extensive or comprehensive in scope or effect, making significant or drastic change, having a profound or far reaching impact. Important synonym is that comprehensive, extensive, far reaching, drastic, radical. Prosecute. Prosecute is to bring a legal action against someone, typically in a court of law, in order to determine their guilt or innocence. To pursue a case or investigation in order to gather evidence or build a case against someone. Important synonym is that charge, indict, accuse, show, litigate. Bureaucratic, a system or organizations or administration that is characterized by strict hierarchy, rigid rules, and focus on procedure and protocol. A government agency or institution that is slow to respond to make decisions, often due to excessive red tape or bureaucratic process. Important synonym is that administrative, organizational, procedural, hierarchical, red tape. Tendency. Tendency, a learning or inclinations toward something, often a particular direction or manner. Important synonym is that inclinations, learning. Pattern, habit, propensity. Limbo with to be in a state of uncertainty or ambiguity with someone or something. To be suspended or stuck in a situation or relationship with clear resolution or resolute. In a state of flux with in a state of uncertainty, a state of ambiguity, a state of confusion, in a state of disorientation with. Repealed, to officially cancel or abolish of law, regulation or policy. To revoke or rescind to a previous decision or action. To make something to longer willed effective. Important synonym is that abolished, provoked, rescinded, cancelled, voided. Overlapping is extended or covering part of the same area of scope, something else, sharing or duplicating functions, responsibility, or characteristics with some else. Having a common or shared boundaries, future or accept with someone. Important synonym is that converging, merging, coinciding, interesting, concurrent. The state must rise the more clamps down to legitimate discourse, the more it fosters a climate of rumor mongering and conspiracy theories. When citizens cannot trust traditional media due to state interference and find themselves muzzled online, social media platforms become fertile ground for unverified narrative. This fuels the very chaos the government claim it seeks to prevent. The important meaning is that clamps down, legitimate discourse, rumor mongering, conspiracy theories, interference, muzzled, fertile ground for unverified narratives. Clamps down, to impose or strict control or restriction or something someone. Important synonym cracks down, crashes, suppresses, restricts, constraint. Legitimate, conforming to the law of rules, genuine or authentic, justified or veiled, authorized or sanctioned, reasonable or acceptable. Important synonym is that lawful, valid, genius, authentic, authorized. Discourse, a formal or information conversations or discussions, a written or spoken exchange of ideas, opinion, or perspective. Important synonym is that conversation, discussions, dialogue, debate, narrative. Rumor mongering, the act of spreading or circulating rumors, often with the intention of causing harm or damage to someone's reputation. A form of gossip or heresy that can be malicious, false, exaggerated. Important synonym is that rumor, spreading, gossiping, slander, defamations, calumny. Conspiracy to secret plan or agreement between two or more people achieve an unlawful or harmful goal. Important synonym is that plot, schemes, plan, collisions, cable. Interference is that the act of obstructing, disrupting, or disturbing something such as process or single relation. Synonym is that obstruction, disruption, disbur- disbursance, hindrance, blockage, disturbance. Must mean to be silenced or gauged, often by force or coercions, to be restricted or prohibited from speaking, expressing one opinion, to be censored or suppressed, often by those in power authority. Important synonym is that silence, gauged, censored, suppressed, restricted. Fertile. Fertile is having a rich or productive quality, often in a term of soil, land, or nature resources. Important synonym is that product, rich, abundant, or fruitful, prolific. Grounds for a reason or justification for something, a basis or foundation for a decision, action, or conclusion. A starting point or premise for a discussion, argument, or investigation. Important synonym is that basis for, reason for, justification for, foundation, foundation for, premise for. Unverified narratives, stories, accounts, or explanations that are supported by evidence, facts, or proof. Narratives that are speculative, hypothetical, or unproven. Accounts that are based on heresy, rumors, or unconfirmed reports. Unsustained, unsubstantiated claims, unproven theories, speculative theory stories, hypothetical accounts, rumors. Rather than heavily handed measures, that government should foster a culture of open dialogue, empower citizen to discern effect from fiction, hold social media platform accountable through fair regulations, and rebuild trust in a traditional media by ensuring its independence. Important word is that heavy-handed, foster, discern, rebuild, ensuring its independence. Heavy-handed, using excessive force, authority, or control, being overly strict, severe, or oppressive. Important synonym is that overbearing, oppressive, authoritarian, and dictatorial, brutal. Foster to promote or encourage the growth or development of something. Synonym is that nurture, support, encourage, promote, cultivate. Discern. Discern is to recognize or distinguish something or separate different. Synonym is that perceive, recognize, distinguish, differentiate, judge. Rebuild is to construct or repair something again after it has been damaged or destroyed. Important synonym is that restore, renovate, repair, reconstruct. Revitalize, ensuring its independence, safeguarding an autonomy and self-governing of an individual, organization, or entity. Important synonym is that safeguarding autonomy, protecting self-governance, maintaining sovereignty, preserving freedom, granting self-determination. So hope you this video is very important, and please like and subscribe and share. So thank you very much.